previously during the investigation.
These puppies are making me go to another town in the boondocks again.
I didn't think you'd keep me waiting in the rain for so long.
Welcome to Greenville. I'm the sheriff, George Woodman. Call me George.
There's definitely something in this town. Do you feel it, Zack? My coffee warned me about it.
The Greenville General Hospital is down the road by the lake. It's too far to walk. Come on, get in the car.
If I'm riding in a car, George, I prefer to be the driver. Can you provide a car for me?
What are you talking about? You don't even know how to get there.
Which is another good reason for me to drive, George. I need to learn my way around town.
Oh, man. Very well. Then I'll ride with you. I want to keep an eye on you.
Fair enough.
Just one thing, Agent Morgan. Your involvement in this case is limited. That means you don't have to learn your way around town.
George, we'd better get moving. The hospital closes at 2100.
Agent Morgan, get us there quickly, but drive within the speed limit. Just because you have a badge doesn't mean you can drive like a maniac.
George, what are you, his mother?
We just need to get the autopsy results.
Agent York isn't accustomed to the town yet. Give him a little slack. Well then, Agent York, let's get going.
Sure, sounds good.
Agent Morgan, I can't help noticing you prefer to work alone.
Most of the time, yes.
Don't you get lonely, flying all over the country alone?
I must say I've never felt lonely.
Are you married?
Unfortunately, relationships and I are fleeting strangers. I don't get on very well with women, you might be surprised to hear.
That's because you're young. You notice things like that at my age. You have to treat women carefully, like a thin crystal wine glass. If you don't, they can cut scars on your face. Just like yours, right?
George, is this an interrogation? I see you're a seasoned professional. But let's not talk about my scar. It was caused by a problematic woman.
Well, she got you good. Terribly good.
It'll fade away, and nobody will notice it in a week.
A week? It's not that light of a wound.
So, Emily, tell me, is there really a need for a full-time sheriff in a small town like this?
I'm sure it is small to your city eyes, but any gathering of people leads to all kinds of problems. Fights, runaways, stray pets.
You're too fixated on violent crimes. Our job is to guide the people along the correct path, first and foremost. Now, that's what I consider to be my duty as the sheriff of Greenville.
Zack, there he is. The monarch, in all his glory. Kind of makes me glad that I wasn't born here.
Did you say something, Agent Morgan?
No, nothing, George. I was just reflecting on a little history.
Well, we're in the middle of a homicide investigation. Keep your mind on the matter at hand.
Okay, which right now is driving. That's a pretty big hospital. I guess they wanted to be ready for town-wide food poisoning?
No, it's another leftover from the town's prosperous slumber days. Hard to imagine now, though, isn't it?
My mother always talked about how energetic this town used to be. Almost like a gold rush, she used to say.
Impressive.
But the hotter the fever, the faster it cools. And so now there's hardly anyone left to use this place.
It pains me to watch my hometown lose so many citizens. Beyond your understanding, I'm sure.
Yes, I'm sorry to say that it is.
Indeed. And that's why this case is our problem. There really isn't any need for you to get too involved.
Hello, Sheriff.
Hi there, Fiona. We're here to see Usha. Do you know where he is?
I think Dr. Johnson is in the computer room.
A computer room? In a hospital?
Nice to meet you, Mr. FBI agent. The computer room is where our employees share a computer.
Very nice to meet you, too. I'm FBI Special Agent Francis York Morgan. But how did you know I was FBI?
Easy. None of the police in this town wear cologne.
Besides, that scar on your face is the biggest rumor in town.
Rumors get exaggerated as they spread, even in the countryside.
What's that you're reading, if I may ask?
You haven't heard of this yet? It's a recent bestseller mystery. It's set in the U.S., a small traditional North American town close to the Canadian border. A peaceful, traditional place. However, that peaceful town is shattered by a terrible crime, the murder of a local girl.
And that incident causes grief and sadness to everyone in town. But everyone feels the seditious, heinous evil still lurking, alive. Yes, much like the situation right now here in Greenvale.
Fiona, don't say that.
Sorry, I shouldn't have said that. With Anna dead and all.
Don't worry. Books are written to entertain, and it's good you're enjoying it. What we're faced with here is a terrible crime committed in a real world. Much different from that of a novel. So there's no need to apologize.
Thank you, Agent York.
We couldn't find him.
Fiona needs to check her information.
No, I don't think so. Does the doctor like playing games by any chance?
What do you mean?
There's a message on the computer, and a card key already set in place. The king passes the rook and meets the bishop. The knight takes a pawn along for the queen.
What does that all mean?
It's a simple puzzle.
Zack, let's take him up on his challenge. You can do this, right?
The doctor awaits below with the deceased.
Another code? But there's nowhere to insert a password.
More games. I'm going to get Fiona to call Usha up here right now.
No need, George. The message appeared with the card key. It's telling us where to use it.
This is not the time to be joking around, Agent Morgan.
Dr. Usha is below with the deceased. With Anna. Below being underground, I take it. Simple. Simple.
Then it's time to meet the mischievous architect of this little game.
Nah. Usha, sorry to keep you waiting.
Ah, you made it. Let's get started, shall we?
This is Agent Morgan from the FBI.
Nice to meet you. I'm Usha Johnson, the doctor in this hospital.
FBI Special Agent Francis York Morgan. Please call me York. Everyone calls me that.
Very well, Agent York.
Are you a forensic practitioner?
Let's just say I've dealt with corpses before.
That battle of wits, by the way. Did you create that yourself?
Mm-hmm. I just wanted to see if our FBI agent could handle the task.
I see. Well, it was pretty fun.
Oh, I'm glad you liked it.
We don't have much time. We need those autopsy results.
Next time, try challenging us without obstructing an investigation. You've angered the monarch.
From the onset of rigor mortis, the stiffening of the muscles, the time of death is estimated to be between 20 and 2200 hours. That's still quite early for such a crime to take place. Note that there are 2 exterior wounds, pressure marks around the neck, and a long cut running from chest to abdomen. Blood marks on her right hand tell us she was gripping something round in her right hand. Her skull is also fractured, but that is unrelated to the cause of death. It probably happened to her after she was killed. Now, I first thought death by suffocation, due to the marks on her neck. But after further investigation, I now have a different conclusion. The direct cause of death was loss of blood from the wound.
Which means...
She was cut up while she was still alive.
Yes, a sharp knife was used. It was inserted beneath the sternum and then quickly sliced downwards. The excessive loss of blood from her internal organs is what actually killed her. Her nails are clean, and with no skin cells from the attacker. She also doesn't appear to have been bound nor badly beaten. She was apparently killed without resistance. The most tragic thing, however, was that she was unable to speak her story to anyone who could hear her cries.
The perpetrator cut out Anna's tongue.
Well, I believe she was drugged first to phase her consciousness, and then the killer killed her. Now, the killer most likely has a deep, traumatized past concerning women. He probably cannot converse with them normally. Cutting out the tongue suggests a very lonely individual. Either that or a truly hardcore sadist. He must get off on...
Tell me, what time did it stop raining on the night Anna was killed?
Just before I went to bed, right after the movie on TV ended, so around 1 a.m.
What movie was it?
An American Werewolf in London.
Directed by John Landis, 1981. So the rain stopped, accompanied by the ending song, Blue Moon. George, would you mind if I examined Anna myself?
What more do you hope to find?
I'm sure I mentioned that I have a personal interest in cases like these. From her lack of resistance, I'd say that Anna's injuries happened very quickly. Unable to speak, she was then left to cry herself to death.
Zack, it's all starting to come together.
The perpetrator stayed with her for at least 2 hours until it stopped raining. At the estimated time of her death, it was still raining, but you can still see tear marks on her cheeks. That means she was killed under a roof somewhere. She was then carried into the woods after it stopped raining.
There's one other thing. Her tongue was removed with a very blunt knife. In fact, it's more likely it was simply chopped off.
Usha, are you a passionate man?
Well, not particularly, but I am man enough should the moment call for it.
George, how about you?
I'm very passionate, yes. Especially when it comes to women. But I don't see what that has to do with anything.
George, the perpetrator is just like you. He's passionate about women. He's a passionate kisser. This was a kiss of death.
The perpetrator bit off Anna's tongue.
We'll never get a dental print from a wound like this. But this is still a big lead.
Jackpot, Zack. A shame, but our old-time all-American sightseeing tour just came to an end.
This case is now under the jurisdiction of the FBI. I'm assuming command. I'll need you to assist me in the investigation.
What in the hell do you mean, Agent Morgan? I know I said I was passionate, but you can't think I did this.
That's not why I'm assuming command, George. You're a suspect just as much as every other passionate man on Earth. Let me show you something. There you go. Amazing, huh? I'm sure you have a lot of questions, but most of the details are top secret. George, Emily, we should be going. No need to stay here any longer.
Okay. I have to sign the release. Just give me a moment.
Very well. I'll go on ahead. I can't take it any longer down here. Bishop takes queen. His rook takes your queen. Then your knight takes rook. And checkmate.
Huh?
My first victory in the Grandmaster ranking.
Zack, they're here. Yes. Bullseye. Bullseye. Great. 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 Amazing. Yes. Bullseye. Nice shot. Bullseye. Bullseye. Nice shot. Nice shot. Great. Nice shot. Amazing. Amazing. Bullseye. Amazing. Bullseye. Bullseye. Yes. Nice shot. Yes. Great. Yes. Yes. Great.
Here! Over here!
Huh? Amazing. Amazing.
Agent Morgan, if you're so desperate, then why not smoke two at once?
Who's that old man?
That's Harry. Harry Stewart. One of the bigger problems around here. His father started up the lumber trade and founded this town. But he's a weird one, as I'm sure you can see. Always dressed like that, never speaking to the townsfolk. And just FYI, he owns almost the entire town. Not that that makes any difference. So long as I'm around, he won't be getting away with any funny business.
Mr. Francis York Morgan, haste won't lead you to what you seek. Keep your eyes focused on your footing as we speak. So says Mr. Stewart.
Nice to meet you, too. How did you know my name?
Mr. Francis York Morgan, information desires you, just as you desire information too. So says Mr. Stewart.
Harry, stop trying to get in our way. Keep this up, and even you'll have to answer to the law.
Mr. Francis York Morgan, with each rain our town goes mad. To our disdain, unpreventable. So sad. So says Mr. Stewart.
Thanks for the warning.
Then we shall depart, Mr. Francis York Morgan.
That's how he always is. Always spouting that nonsense. Don't give it any thought. It's all gibberish.
Emily here. Uh-huh. Oh. Okay, thank you, Thomas.
Agent York, we've contacted the first witnesses to the crime scene. You can interview them where they found the dead body.
Excellent. I was just about to ask if you could take me there.
The body was found in the Greenvale Forest Park. That's west from here, and too far to walk.
A forest park?
It's the pride of the town. It has a beautiful trail leading to a viewing site over Velvet Falls.
That does sound fantastic. Show me the sights.
That may have to wait. We promised to be there by 1800 to interview the first witnesses to the crime scene.
Agent Morgan, if I could just give you a friendly warning.
Are you really upset about me taking over the case? I have the authority approved by the FBI to assume command. I understand you don't like it, but you will follow my orders.
I'm not disputing FBI authority, but this is our town. You won't get far alone, and you gain nothing by antagonizing me.
It's part of my personality. I just do things my way. I can take you off the case if you wish.
Stop it, you two. We need to solve this case, not bicker among ourselves.
Anna's body was discovered by the woodsman Jim Green, along with his 2 grandchildren, Isaac and Isaiah.
What were they doing in the forest?
Just their daily routine. They found Anna's body during a morning walk.
So you've talked to them already?
Not officially. Not yet.
Not yet. Are you out of your mind? You haven't interviewed them yet?
Agent York, that tone is hardly appropriate. We were given orders to wait for you to arrive.
Orders by who?
A man called Abrams from the FBI.
Robert, is it? Good old Bob Abrams. I did tell him to stay out of it.
It's always tough to have a meddling boss, huh, Zack?
I thought you knew, Agent Morgan. Don't worry about it. We may not have taken official statements, but we got all the information we need. I can fill you in right now if you'd like.
Thanks, George, but that won't be necessary. I want to hear the details from the witnesses themselves, firsthand.
I just can't believe that the children had to witness the crime scene. They may be traumatized. You'd better do this carefully.
Don't tell me you get nervous talking to children, Emily.
Not at all. That's not what I meant.
Then what did you mean?
Just forget it.
Agent Morgan, how much longer do you want to keep talking? Maybe we should cut the chit-chat and go get our official statements.
George is right. Let's head over to the forest park.
Agent Morgan, how much longer do you want to keep talking? Maybe we should cut the chit-chat and go get our official statements.
George is right. Let's head over to the forest park.
Is this government land?
No, it's private, owned by Harry.
This whole area?
That's right. I'm sure I mentioned that he owns pretty much the whole town.
He used the money left by his father to buy up most of the town. Many town residents live on his land.
Zack, did you hear that? This entire park. A rich man's personal playground. These country rich folk are amazing. It all looks very well kept, too. I'm FBI Special Agent Francis York Morgan. Please call me York. It's what everyone calls me.
And you are Jim Green?
That I am, son. I keep these woods.
Well, you're doing a fine job.
Well, I used to be a tree surgeon.
And these two discovered the body?
Yes, my grandchildren, Isaac and Isaiah.
Zack, you see that? Twins. Just like in my dream. We gotta keep an eye on these two.
I'm sorry. Could we talk away from the boys? I want to help your investigation, but I don't want them to hear this.
Very well. Emily, please.
I'll just take them over there then.
Thank you.
Hold on. Don't do anything without asking me. These children were the first to witness the crime scene. I want to talk to them.
Come on, they're just kids. They have no idea what really happened to Anna.
That doesn't matter. You agree with me, right, Zack?
How heartless. Do you ever think of other people's feelings, ever?
Emily's right. That's stone cold, even for the sake of investigation.
Children see things in pure, simple terms. They may have seen something we adults would never spot, and they are here at our request as well. We could at least chat with them and see if they want to make a statement.
Are you serious?
I never joke about matters like this.
Oh my God.
Don't worry. They aren't as fragile as you think. Look at them, standing so upright there. Now then, Isaac, Isaiah, tell me, what did you find here?
Anna, she was so pretty. She had a red dress on. Her hair was shining. Bright gold hair. There were lots of animals around her. Squirrels, weasels, and a snake. A real snake. We didn't know until then. But we know now. Anna was the fairy of the forest. She was a goddess. She smiled when she saw us. She looked so happy.
That's right, Isaac. Isaiah. She was a fairy. A goddess. I'm sure she is playing with those animals even now.
Of course she is. Yeah, of course.
Most useful information, boys. Well, Emily, you can take them now.
Okay, Zack. This is where Anna's body was. And that means our unsub, our unknown subject, was here too.
So, what happened here?
Zack, something is still missing. We need more clues. I haven't seen one of these in a long time. It's upside down. I guess this is meant to be an anti-peace sentiment then.
These holes on the ground were made by high stiletto heels all around here. And this depression here, Agent Morgan, I see what happened here. He hung her from the tree and put on her shoes. He was really enjoying it. A sicko. And he knelt down and disgusting.
George, you certainly have a vivid imagination. An interesting theory, don't you think, Zack? What was his name again? That Hollywood producer. That's right, Joel. We really ought to introduce George to him, Zack. Profiling is a little different from writing a screenplay, though. An idea being interesting doesn't make it fact. Let me enlighten you, George. The footprints reveal that one of the heels were missing from the shoes. And they're different from Anna's shoes that we saw at the office. Furthermore, there would be even more disgusting evidence if he did kneel and, well, do as you suggested. If you want proof, go ahead and try it for yourself. He knelt here for a reason other than simple perversion. Zack, what was he doing in front of Anna? Now I get it. He was kneeling to pray in front of her. Just like the twins said. She was a goddess. The unsung, our unknown subject, offered prayers to Anna's body, its bitten-out tongue and massive body wound. Once dead Anna was transformed from an object of despite into one of worship. So who is Miss Stiletto Heels? The steps are close coming up to the body, and then farther apart going away.
There was a reason to hurry away then.
That settles it then, George. Miss Stiletto Heels is a third party here. She's not the murderer. No one runs away from an object of worship. She could be another victim who was with Anna. Or perhaps an accomplice who fled for some reason. She is also one who took whatever it was Anna was holding on to in her hand.
But why? Why did she leave her here?
Only Miss Stiletto Heels knows the reason for that. She might know something about the man with the reversed peace mark, too. How many women wear high stiletto heels in this town, do you think?
Oh, I should think most of them have at least one pair. I do too, before you ask. But nobody would come all the way out here wearing them, except maybe one person.
Don't keep me in the dark, then. Who might this elegant lady be?
Diane, the owner of the art gallery. But she's out of town for a big art auction. I heard she'll be coming back in a couple days.
Then we'll just have to give her a warm welcome home. A more immediate matter, then. Where in town can you find something like this? It should be a building that isn't used anymore, with either a lot of metal or metal machinery or something like that.
The old lumber mill.
time to really get this show on the road. Could you guide me to this perfect setting for extravagant murder?
The lumber mill is pretty far from here. If that's where she was killed, why would the killer go to all the trouble of carrying her all the way here?
I don't know yet. My profiling instincts tell me one thing is for sure, though. The unsub's personality is totally different before and after the crime. The unsub killed her in a brutal, horrifying way, and then displays powerful adoration after she's dead. Something close to love. That could well be the key to all this. I will say this, though, George. Profiling is a risky business. Of course, if the unsub planted those stiletto footprints himself, well then, everything I've just said falls apart. But there's no evidence that he left those stiletto footprints. I'm sure we have Miss Stiletto Heels to thank for those tracks. All I can do is deduce the unsub's feelings in light of the evidence, and carefully figure the unsub's MO, modus operandi, his way of thinking. It usually unveils something that a normal forensic analysis may overlook. That's my way of profiling. It's not for everyone, but it works for me.
When I first joined the force, this lumber mill was still in full swing.
It closed up right when I first moved here.
And now it's totally abandoned.
I presume so. I've never really been inside, so I don't know for sure, but it sure is run down.
Deserted buildings are perfect for criminal hideouts and activities. I keep telling Harry to have the place torn down.
Probably a little late for that. After all, it's already been used as the site of Anna's murder.
We don't know that for sure yet, Agent Morgan.
But that's right, from your point of view. But the perpetrator selected the lumber mill.
Agent York, you seem very confident about this.
Confident? No. Confidence is a sweet spot between being rude and hopeless. I'm just drawing natural conclusions from the facts that we have seen.
That sounds exactly like being full of confidence, at least to me. And to normal people with common sense.
Common sense can be the opposite of fact sometimes. Bear that in mind.
Oh, I will, Agent York. Thank you for another pearl of wisdom.
Either way, we'll know for sure by simply going to the lumber mill. So keep your pearls of wisdom to yourself, and let's hurry.
Well said, George. Can you step on it, Agent York?
I'm going in alone. You two stay here. I can't concentrate on profiling with other people around me.
Now hold on a minute. We're investigating this case together.
Listen, I can't risk the crime scene being compromised by you two.
What are you saying? You're not the only professional law enforcement officer here, Agent Morgan. We know how to secure a crime scene.
I'm sorry. That was rude of me. But this is how I operate. Furthermore...
Yes? Furthermore what?
To me, the outsider FBI agent, every citizen of this town is a suspect. You two could be in on this whole thing for all I know. I have to keep suspects out of the crime scene.
How can you say such a thing? Is he making fun of us? We should have left him behind and come here by ourselves.
You're right. I've never been so insulted.
I'm sorry, but I'm just doing my job. Did you hear that, Zack? If they're pros, then we should let every first-person shooter gamer out there join the SWAT team. Zack, they're here.
Shot. Yes. Great. Great. Bullseye. Bullseye.
Just as I thought, Zack. This is where Anna was killed. Too much noise. We're still missing a vital piece of the puzzle. Zack, it's almost like an altar. Was the murder some kind of ritual?
Where are you hiding?
Great. 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 Bullseye. Nice shot. Yes. 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 Nice shot. Great. shut. Great. Great. Bullseye. Huh? Huh? Oh! Oh!
I see you. Where are you?
Zack, this is a waste of time. Let's go. That's all the information we need, Zack. Let's go back and show them what we found.
Have you seen any of these things before?
No, not that I know of. But that raincoat is a little odd.
Odd? In a town where it rains so much?
Well, the people here rarely go out in the rain. I moved here during high school, and I never really understood why. Can you shed some light on this, George?
Oh, well, there's an old story, folklore. It's a fairy tale, to me. Something about a killer in a raincoat who appears on rainy nights. A vicious killer in a bright red raincoat. Yeah, that was it. Just a foolish piece of superstition. A rubbish story someone made up. Not many people still believe it, but I guess it's a traditional place. Most of the shops still close up when it rains. School's out, too. And since there's no reason to go out, not many people ever wear raincoats.
And now the raincoat killer has leapt out from his picture book. Oh, by the way, would you two kindly show me your backs?
Our backs? Is this related to the case?
The person with the upside-down peace mark in that photo we found. He's our killer.
And what makes you so sure about that?
Zack and I saw him kill Anna in the lumber mill. He killed her. Right in there. Oh, one thing. Please don't ask me about Zack. That's a private matter.
Anyway, by showing me your backs, we can clear up most of my concerns about you. Isn't that for the best? You do want to remove yourselves from the suspect list. It will make things a lot easier.
This is insane. Your methods are rude, insulting, and out of the question. And Emily is a female officer. Forcing her to show you her back is harassment. I don't care if you are FBI or not. You are out of line.
George, it's okay. Let's just show him and get it over with.
Emily, are you crazy?
Look, we flash our backs and he'll start trusting us a little more. Right? Agent York?
Are you satisfied now?
Yes. My apologies.
Now you, George.
Yeah, okay. I can't refuse it now, can I? But don't expect to get your way all the time, Agent Morgan.
Huh?
George!
What are these scars?
Just like your Mr. Zack. Something private. I don't have to tell you about it.
Of course. Just like Zack. We can understand that, right, Zack? Anyway, this will make things a lot easier from now on. I'm glad to say you're both pretty much off the hook. Thank you for your cooperation.
If anyone is suspicious around here, it's him. He's the most suspicious.
No, I don't think so. But he certainly is the most irritating.
We've studied the crime scene. You know what we have to do next, Zack.
George, can we arrange to have the townfolk gather in one place? There are some things I want to address with the townfolk.
Very well. I'll arrange to have as many as possible gather in the community center tomorrow.
Thank you, George.